All right, let's hit the speed bag. Robert Guerrero ended his 13-month layoff with a unanimous decision victory in a toe-to-toe brawl with Yoshihiro Kamagai. Brian, what stood out for you in Saturday night's fight?
Well, clearly, this is a great fight. I mean, it's going to go down as a fight of the year contender. Very, very pleasing on the eyes. But look, there's an underlying story here. Why was Guerrero so willing to stand and trade it against a guy really in a showcase fight? And if you don't believe that was a showcase fight, you can just look at the purses where Guerrero made $1 million, Kamagai made $75,000 for this fight. To go life or death almost in this spot with a swollen eye, not really the best way to close out the fight for Guerrero, although he came out with the win.
We are fight fans after all, though. We want to see the best fights. We're not their PR guys, right?
It was fun to watch, but not so great for his future, Jim.
Vasyl Lomachenko, by the way, Vasyl is the way you pronounce it. Lomachenko won a featherweight world title in just his third pro fight by clearly outclassing previously unbeaten Gary Russell Jr. Not sure what Lisa Giampa was seeing. But, Dan, what did Saturday's outcome mean for both fighters?
Well, I think what it meant in many ways, not just for the fighters, but it validated the pathway that Lomachenko took, which is he took the approach that as a amateur with 400 amateur fights, that I can go right into a real fight against a real opponent in his third professional fight, win a world title, tying the all-time boxing record for quickest to a title, and it trumped the path that Gary Russell took, which is slow and steady, fighting 24, basically schmears over the course of the last few years to get to a point where he's fighting a real guy. And when he got in that spot, look what happened. The guy with 3 fights beat the guy with 24 fights.
Yeah, Lomachenko looked like the seasoned pro in that fight, not Russell, certainly. In his first fight since losing to Sean Porter, Devon rebounded with a unanimous decision win over Jesus Soto Caras. Brian, what did you learn from that fight?
Well, along with being a good bounce-back win for Alexander, what we really showed us here is a willingness to sort of step on the gas and be more of an exciting fighter. This is a guy who sort of suffered from that boring label at times in his career. And just like his title defense in 2013 against Lee Purdy, we saw a guy who was willing to take chances, stand and trade. I thought maybe even at times late in this fight he was taking a little bit too many shots in return, but he was able to pull out the victory. I think he's showing Jim that he wants big fights, and sometimes to do that, you got to put yourself out there and make the fights that the fans want to see.
Yeah, they had 3 good fights from Carson, California. Dan, you have the Twitter question this week, and it comes from Sam Shepard. If Vasyl Lomachenko and Nonito Donaire were to fight, who wins and why?
That is a very, very interesting fight. And the great thing about Lomachenko now having a featherweight title is that Lomachenko is going to have a wealth of opponents, Donaire being one of them with a title, also Gradovich, also Nicholas Walters. They're all with top rank. But that's a fight I think we might see, Donaire against Lomachenko. I think it's a very dangerous fight for Donaire. He's a little older. He's the one that's moved up from flyweight. Lomachenko is solid at the weight. I think, honestly, we're talking about a prospect of the year against a guy that was fighter of the year just 2 years ago. I think Lomachenko probably would win that fight. It's a great matchup. I would love to see it.
I'm buying into this Lomachenko.
Oh, he's for real. He's the goods, Jim. Buy the stock now.
Tweet your questions to @ESPN Boxing or B Campbell ESPN using hashtag ESPN Rounds. As always, we will provide the answer. Unbeaten, Ivan Redkach gets his toughest challenge to date against the former world title contender Sergey Gulyakovich, headlining Friday Night Fights. It's at 9 Eastern on ESPN2, ESPN Deportes, and Watch ESPN. But that is all our time. Thanks to Dan Rafael and Brian Campbell. I'm Jim Basquil. As always, we are making the rounds right here on the boxing page of ESPN.com.